Welcome back to Medrash Umaisa, sharing a story for the Yom Tov of Shavuos, which is coming up. Shavuos is an expression of Am Yisrael's love of Torah, meaning it's a Yom Tov in which we're supposed to be happy, like on all of our Yom Tovim, but the Simcha is supposed to be related to the content of the Yom Tov. On the Yom Tov, which is about receiving Torah, it's supposed to involve the Simcha that we have because we love Torah, and developing and expressing a love for Torah. The Talmud Rebbe learned in a school in Bayit Vegan in the early years of the school. It was known as the Talmud Torah of Bayit Vegan, and it was headed by the Menahel, the principal, Rabbi Yaakov Yitzchak Leuchter. As a young man, he was in the concentration camps and came out to become a very influential educator in Eretz Yisrael. He said that when he came to the concentration camps, it was already towards the end of the war. And there were some Jews who had managed to survive, who had been in the camps for quite a few years. And obviously, they were walking skeletons, right? They were barely alive, even though they managed to survive. When he came, they placed him in a bunk, and he saw that on one of the boards that they were given to sleep on near him, there was a man who lay there exhausted. He wasn't even sure if the man was really still alive. Suddenly, that person opened his eyes and said, with his last strength, he said, "Bacharol," he said, "Young man, hast mitgebrengt epis a Yiddish sefer? Did you perhaps bring with you a Jewish book?" Because he was a new arrival at the camp, he thought maybe he managed to bring a sefer. A kleine mishnayisel. Did you manage to smuggle in a small mishnayis? Other a Gemara? Maybe a Gemara? So Yaakov Yitzchak said that he had actually taken with him a few small volumes of mishnayis, but as he was being transported, he lost all but one of them. He still had a tiny mishnayis Seder Kodshim. So the man's eyes lit up, and he asked if he could please borrow that mishnayis. He took the mishnayis and kissed it, and he sat on the edge of that board in the bunk, and he started to learn mishnayis with fire and with chiyus, in a lively, vital way. And it was like he was a man with tremendous thirst who was slaking his thirst after having gone through a desert without having had water for so long. After a few hours, he put down the mishnayis and returned it. The next morning, when the Nazis came to wake everyone up for labor, so Rabbi Yaakov Yitzchak saw that that man didn't wake up. That was his last evening. He had united with the Torah. He had exited that world of the nightmare and elevated himself joyfully with that Torah, with learning the Torah, with that thirst, being the one thing that he wanted most of all, perhaps sensing that it was the end of his life in this world. As we approach Matan Torah, we have to try to think of what we get excited about, what we yearn for, how we approach the Torah in a world where we can learn Torah in endless forms and formats. We don't have to wait for a new inmate to Auschwitz to maybe have smuggled in a tiny mishnayis. We have to learn from those lessons of those people and try on Shavuos to try to be makabel Torah b'simcha, to try to add in some more energy, some more vitality, some more simcha in learning of Torah by taking some time to think about what it means to us and what it has meant to us always and what it means for our future. Wishing everyone Yom Tov of simcha, of Kabbalas HaTorah, and may we be zoche to be able to bring the Korbanos of Yom Tov, the Shtei Alechem, in the Beis HaMikdash on Shavuos with the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu. Kol Tov.